Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. I, your host Anupam Vipul, welcomes you to our show Camera Tuesday, and today we're gonna talk about Insta360 1R. So let's dive right into it. Well, first we have to understand what the heck we are talking about. We are talking about a modular action camera. So basically, they took the concept of a red camera, they turbocharged it, and they made it into an action camera. Now, first thing you have to understand before you invest money into it, because $300, $400, or maximum variant of $1,500 is not something that it's not chump change basically, and you have to know about like is this company or is this a scam. So this company Insta360, there is a reason why they have 360 in their name itself, is because it's a big name in 360-degree cameras. 360-degree camera have been slowly evolving into their own niche. Like right now, action camera is a niche, mirrorless camera is a niche. 360 also has a successful niche. It's not like okay, some people are experimenting with it. No, it's actually successful. There's like whole categories of 360-degree cameras, and they have been doing so for like past few years. So Insta360 tried to do this early, and they learned from their mistakes. They made multiple models, so it's not like oh they have this is their first product. They have made products like Insta360 Evo, Insta360 1X, and things of that nature. So they have made products, they have sold it to public, and response have been quite good. On top of that, people are generally very open to this company simply because their whole history says that if they find a flaw and they can fix it with a firmware, that problem will be fixed. So this is their company, and their approach is basically they're gonna give you all in an action camera. They're gonna give you 360-degree, their home ground, and they're gonna give you 4K wide, like basically a normal action camera. Plus, they're gonna give you 1-inch model like Sony RX10 Mark II. So not RX10, RX0. So they are giving you all in an action camera. So let's look into it. Well, you have to understand there are many action camera companies, but nobody, like flat out nobody, comes even close to GoPro. Why? Experience. GoPro is actually good. Like it's not the greatest out there, and I generally don't like the current variant simply because they are removing HDMI output. They know that people need HDMI. Heck, I would buy HDMI because to make live streaming or other, but they're like, dude, I know you need it, so I'm gonna remove it and then I'm gonna give you a case that you have to buy. Basically, they're becoming like Apple, and they know like lens crack things happen to glass, so they're like okay, that's a replaceable part, you're gonna replace it. Once you damage it, you're gonna, they're like no, let's embed it, so you have to like buy a new whole product. So I'm getting like GoPro is becoming slowly becoming Apple, but they are good, they are tangibly good, they are tangibly experienced, and they are very polished. So if they are like I'm gonna do this, they're gonna do it, and they are very good at it. So Insta360 is something similar. They are really good at 360-degree video. Like if you take Insta360, compare it to GoPro's 360, GoPro 360 does not even stand a chance. Like these company have actually fine-tuned experience with 360. And so they went all in. They're like, okay, we're gonna give you 360-degree in 5K. Now you may say, is in 5K overkill? Well, if you're coming from like front is like this kind of video, you're like, yeah, 5K is overkill. But when you're coming 360-degree, 5K is bare minimum. Like if you give 4K 360, people are like, dude, I'm not touching it. 5K is like bare minimum, and people generally seek 8K, 16K, and all that jazz. Problem is, if we don't have equipment to actually yield that kind of data throughput, processor will simply roast itself. So 5K is like kind of compromising, but it's still good. It's like as a 360-degree video, it's awesome. But if you want to like have a 360, then you want to zoom in and crop in and make it like a normal footage, yeah, it does not have that resolution for that. So 4K 60 frame per second, that's okay. That's comparable to GoPro. And full HD, they can go up to 120 frame per second. Still comparably good. And the whole idea is modular. Basically, you're gonna have a brain, you're gonna have a camera module, you're gonna have the battery. Now you may think, doesn't this expose joints and all that jazz make them physically weak or prone to water damage? No, waterproofing does not require your things to be absolutely sealed. That's a lie that companies like mobile phone manufacturers are selling us. Like to give you a simple example, there are many things that are known as ruggedized laptop. Here's the deal, many of them have hot swappable batteries. They have like two physical batteries, you can replace one, places with a charged one, and then do this. Like you can do that. And here's the deal, they are still waterproof. They have higher waterproof rating, higher endurance than mobile phone. Well, everything is sealed, and laptop computers generally have ports and all that jazz. So it's just a hype thing that like oh, you have to seal it up for waterproofing. If you know your engineering, you can have basically moving parts and still have reliable water seal. It can be done. It has been done with electronics for a very long time. They are doing this with this equipment. So do not worry as in like okay, is water is gonna damage it? No, they have thought about it, it's thoroughly tested, and many people have already tested in sea water also. It's not like okay, swimming pool water. No, they have tested in sea water. Now if you supposed to go below 5 meters, again same like GoPro, you have to put it in a case. They also sell you a case. It's like you really need to go to below 5 meters in the sea water, please get the case. So that's the whole point, because GoPro is such a polished company. Any company who's like, okay, I'm gonna make an action cam which is gonna be better than GoPro, they lose. They flat out lose. They do not get the market grab. Now, to make sure they can compensate, basically Insta360 can fight, have a fighting chances. They are like, we're gonna give you everything. Basically, we're gonna give you things that GoPro cannot give you. For example, even if you have that normal 4K wide module and you're like, hey, the screen is small, you have the luxury of flipping the screen. So if you are capturing something and you capture something in front of you, you want the screen behind. Okay, awesome. But if you want to do self-vlogging, you want the screen facing you. At that point in time, you'll be like, dude, I will live with smaller screen if I have the luxury of, adjusting them whenever I need. That same thing can be done with 360 module. And again, low light module of 1 inch also allows you that luxury. You can charge the battery in the system, or you can buy a fancy charger which allows you to charge two batteries at the same time. So their approach to action camera is different, and market stagnation is really bad. So they are shaking up the thing. And in January, if the world has not ended, basically past January I'm talking about, this was like most talked about, most hyped action camera out there, and then the world ended. So what about the future aspect? Whenever you buy equipment, you do not buy just, okay, I'm gonna buy it done. You have to think about it, like how the heck they're gonna support it, like how the heck is this gonna be good, or is it gonna improve, or is it just a gimmick right now? Because there are many mobile companies that did something similar. It's like, like LG had a swappable module, nothing came of it. Asus have mini gaming phones, no modules practically came off of it. So is the same thing gonna happen here? No, because their modules are tangibly better and they actually add features. So you can buy basic model right now, which generally people do not recommend unless it's a 360 variant, because again, Insta360 is known for 360. Their 360 is really good. So you can buy right now bare basic and then upgrade, or you can just buy the upgraded one directly. So there are generally if you want to buy twin package, people will recommend get a 360 one and 1-inch one, because these two you can genuinely destroy any GoPro. And 1-inch one, if you do any low light scenario, basically evening, night and all that, flat out, there is no mobile phone right now on the planet that can come close to this. And it happens because physics, 1-inch equals larger sensor equals better dynamic range. That directly physically translates into better signal to noise ratio. That better signal to noise ratio makes better images. And you can see Potato Jet did a very amazing video where it's like, okay, this is the iPhone, super expensive camera, and this is a comparatively same price, 1-inch one, and you can see, like, literally you can see the ground in the low light, just like it's just a splotch of color in the Apple, and in this one you're like, okay, oh, there is a pattern, there's supposed to be pattern, not just blank color there. So it's tangibly better, and it's physics based. You cannot tamper with physics. So if you really want to invest into the system, people will urge you to go with either 1-inch or that 360. Don't generally go with that 4-inch 4K one, because while it is good, it's just not as good as basically GoPro. And then battery is the biggest issue. This also has the same batteries, like a GoPro caliber battery, so to say. So it also has 1 hour of runtime. That's good, okay, and like if everybody else is giving you 1 hour, you can't complain about it. But because there's modular strength, the next Insta360 bigger battery module is already under construction. If they have made it, they soon will start shipping it. So it's also there. And then you can basically buy a drone module where you can connect both of them in the top. They have the whole kit. It's a bit expensive, but luxury is that if once you do that, you're gonna have no drone in your 300 degrees footage video. No drone, not at all. No propeller, no AI cutting. The way it's designed, the way it's arranged, it's completely, the drone itself is invisible. So it's quite amazing. I have provided a video down below also. So that's the whole point. It's not like, okay, it's a gimmicky thing. They have thought of this very thoroughly. Like, things are there which actually improve your, like, monitor, the ability to make it front facing or backward facing. That's tangibly makes your life better. The ability to have 1-inch sensor tangibly makes your life better in low light. Yes, it's expensive, but at least you have an option that can truly compete with any mobile phone out there. So that's one thing. Then you can have bigger battery. So if you are doing long extended vlogs, that tangibly makes your life better. If you want to do drone photography, having no drone in your footage, ta-da! So they have a really bright future ahead. If the world has not ended, they would have been like capturing YouTube much more. So But you have to understand that GoPro does have history, so history comes with experience. Experience gives you certain perks, so to say. So they have this problem where their video format is proprietary. Now proprietary video format is okay for 360-degree footage. It's kind of expected in 360-degree videos. It's like, yeah, your footage will be proprietary, hoo-ha. But when you're talking about normal action camera, that is not acceptable. Now the company's reputation suggests that they are working on it, and they have said that they're gonna fix it in firmware. So far the camera has been out for 3 months, and that has not happened yet, but it will happen. Like it's something that I can truly hope, have faith that they're gonna fix it. No, but as of now, you have to act in such a way that, yeah, they are gonna give you a fancy format. Now they are working with Adobe Premiere, where they're gonna have a direct integration possible. So let's see how that unfolds. Then the audio. Now audio part is like, people are like, dude, you made such a good camera, like it's tangibly good, like you're tangibly doing things that no other competitor is doing. But how the heck you messed up the audio? Like tangibly, every people is like, dude, even if you connect a good external microphone, it just does not have the bit depth. It's like it's just not coming through. Basically audio is good compared to everything else. It's like, yeah, it's good, it's in the same ballpark. But if you are like, okay, I'm gonna connect a big expensive microphone and I'm gonna get YOLO sound out of it, yeah, it does not have that. So audio is like okay at best. Then 1-inch sensor, while it's the most strongest aspect of this camera setup, it does have a side effect. Because of the inherent nature of the sensor, you cannot do very close focusing. They may have to redo this. Again, if you focus on things ahead, like basically your vlogging includes showing things, 1-inch is awesome. But if you are like showing yourself, you have to be a bit far. Basically you have to be here, you cannot be like this. That will not work in 1-inch mode. You have to be here. Now if you can have a selfie stick that is that long and gets you into like around 1.5 feet or 2 feet, then it's awesome. But that's the whole point. Like people like to that 1 feet would have been awesome, but close focusing distance, because it's a fixed focus lens, that issue is there. However, at low light you will be like, dude, give me better image quality over very sharp image quality with a hell lot of noise. So it's not as perfect as people thought, but again, still a very tangible competitor. 360-degree video stabilization, it requires stabilization, but amazing. It's amazing, flawless. It can like flat out smoke GoPro's 360. Why? Because they have experience in that front. However, when you compare that normal like a front-facing camera system to 4K stabilization of GoPro smokes it. It's like, it's not that much better. GoPro is not like whoa better. It's like, yeah, it's really good. It's polished. When you see this Insta360, you're like, dude, you need at least 2-3 generations of polish to reach that point. They introduced this one of my personal favorite feature, Bluetooth headset. But right now they have only allowed the ability to connect AirPods, and early results are not that great. However, in certain scenarios that may be better than nothing. Think of this way: let's say you put your camera and you are actually quite far away, or in a windy scenario, having a low grade microphone of these things is much better than having no audio. So, and wireless also. So again, they are working on it. They still need to polish it out. They may be able to figure the audio things out, but these are the things that you should be aware of. If you want to buy this and you want to do serious production out of this, you have to be aware of those things. Audio is generally, people will say like have an external audio recording setup, and that's recommended anyway. So that's one thing. And in terms of 4K stabilization, people will say don't buy the normal one, because GoPro have better stabilization, better color reproduction and all that jazz. Just get the 1-inch one. Then you are like, yeah, I truly have something that is good. But be mindful, you have to be more than around 1.5 feet away to get maximum effectiveness. So this was my presentation on Insta360 1R. I hope you liked it, learned from it. In that case, please click the like button, share it amongst your friends. That will help me a lot. If you didn't like it, didn't enjoy it, I'd urge you to press dislike, press it twice to show me extra disappointment, and please leave a comment, because I try to reply to all of them. Subscribe, press the bell icon if you're free, and as always, thanks for watching.